Welcome everyone to the third Showmatch. Players have already chosen the teams. You can see the draft more or less in the chat. And they're about to start picking races. We have some new faces, some old faces as well. Mikash has joined us, Jonathan and Kevi. We don't have Blazing this time, which is quite a shame. And as always, the races, they can be mirrored, but players don't have to do that. We'll see what they go for this time. In the last game we did not have any Egyptians, and I predict maybe we should have some this time, because judging by the teams, I feel like Zena got the better end of the deal this time. He has Konju, which I think is by far the best player. Other than Zena and Generalen, obviously. Generalen has Mikash, who is a wild card to say the least, and you never know what he's gonna do. He picked the Romans this time, so maybe it's not going to be too crazy. Looks like General himself going for the Egyptians. Let's see if Konju takes on the challenge. No, he does not. Okay. And then Varys and General Hanzi going for Asians, and the two Amazons for Zena and Jonathan. Let's see how the spots are. But right off the bat, I feel like if the game goes for a long play and such, I feel like Zena has an advantage. Because Kevi and Konju and Eagleschnauze as well are very, very good long game players. Whereas Mikash, not so much. And I don't know about Jonathan, so can't really predict on that. Oh, interesting positions right on the way. I can see that. Give me a few seconds to set up the teams on the screen. Alright. Let me know in the chat what you think about the teams. Who do you think is gonna win? Who has the upper hand? And let's begin introducing the players. So first, maybe let's start with the Amazons, who are very close to each other. With Jonathan going against Zena. And this is a tough call, I think, for Jonathan, because Zena is known to be one of the best Amazons in the game. And he is right up against him, playing on a good spot so far. We'll see about mountain, because last game the Amazons had great spot in terms of land, but the mountains weren't too crazy good, so they couldn't shine as much as they would like to. But this time may be different, because there is more mountain on the map in general. And then the second pair, that's going to be a Hanzi, playing with Asians, going up against Varys. If I remember correctly, Hanzi played well last game, but they were pretty close with Varys. We have another that once again they're up against each other. So I'm curious whether they change anything in their gameplay to get the better score. And then we have General going up against Konju once again, and they're very close, just like the Amazons, just slightly lower on the map, but this time the races aren't mirrored. The Konju decided not to take on the challenge and play against the General with the Egyptians, which is a shame. I think Konju has pretty good Egyptians, and he could do well against General, really well. The spot is slightly, I think, hilly, so General isn't too stoked about it. There's not that much space because you have enemy right behind them. In this case, Hanzi is pioneering really aggressively towards Konju, but there is plenty of stone, so it's not too bad. We'll see how General plays this out. He wants to secure this little mountain, probably won't go over it unless Varus allows him to, and then probably gonna expand south. There's this nice little lake in the middle, which there should be place for at least one, maybe even two fishes for General to place really quickly, and I think that's good news for him. And then we have Mikash right in the corner going against Kevin, also playing Romans here, and this spot is crazy. The start is it's difficult, but I don't think it's too bad. I'm curious where they will go, which side they'll expand, because you have to choose one side and then stick to it for some time. It looks like Kevi is going up north, and Mikash also going up north. I guess that's a better choice, right? But the land is quite bad on both sides, to be honest. So we'll see how Mikash does, because I feel like he's really doesn't like spots like these. He prefers fast games and rushing and maybe some level 3 pushes. But from this position, it's almost impossible to do so, I feel like. So he'll have very tough time playing here, but maybe he'll surprise us. Just because he's inconsistent, but it doesn't mean he can't play long game. And then last pair is Taco against Igelschnauzer, and this is the chance for Taco to redeem himself. And the spot is, well, challenging to say the least. I'm not really sure which spot is the worst of all. Maybe this one, I feel like. Last game, all of the spots were good, very good or good. In this case, we have a lot of mediocre and straight up terrible spots. I think this is one of them. It wouldn't be too bad had it not been for the snow, lots of it, and it prevents expansion to the south. So maybe some rushing is in order in this game. We will see. You can see Eagle going into the middle, and he will be able to secure this patch of land, which is the best land they can get. So I feel Taco is already in a bit of trouble with almost no land to build whatsoever. Going down south is maybe an option, but it's sketchy to say the least. And this time there's a lot of players that are close to each other, so it suggests there should be some rushing, at least well, in my opinion. There are some spots that are really bad, and I feel like the players here in the back, they will have to play very smart in order to have any influence in the game, because it might be so that the game ends or is decided before they can do anything, if they decide, for example, to go for some sort of long, greedy play. From what I can see, I feel like the best spot on the whole map is this one for Varus and Hanzi. There are two swamps right here, and there's another one here which Hanzi should be able to secure. And there's one down south, so they should have no problems with mana whatsoever. Plenty of flat or semi-flat land, plenty of mountain. I think, yeah, that's definitely the best one. Amazons also have a good one, but it's all for them, it's always about the mountain, so we can't judge just yet. I'm not really sure if the machines, I think they were available, so we might see some gongs and other war machines in play. Yeah, as I said, Eagle being faster here, so already pressure on Taco to do something. I haven't played that many times against Generalen, where he was playing Egyptians, so I'm not really sure what to expect from him. But I don't think he's the sort of guy that rushes every game. More like a long play gamer, and we can already see that, to confirm that theory, because I never really see Egyptians going for 2 foresters. I don't want to start with flaming him, because he was upset before, and he said he's feeling sick, catching a flu or something, which at this time of the year is quite common. But yeah, he's starting with 2 foresters, which, I mean, he doesn't have that many trees, but still, and on such a small spot, I think that's a questionable choice. We'll see how it plays out for him. I've never seen Metro play 2 foresters, that's for sure. Already a spy from Konju coming into Generalen's land. It's about right time to see whether he's playing the farm or not, and whether he has a good, how he's basically developing, whether he's going for the fast weaponsmith or maybe doing something else. Konju probably will not be able to scout the 2 foresters, which is quite a shame for him, because there are some soldiers guarding it. Unless he goes for it, he would have to go around. Because if he saw those 2 foresters, that would be a big tell for him that he doesn't have to be afraid of any crazy rushes at the beginning. Obviously, just because General is going for slightly more conservative build, doesn't mean Konju doesn't have to respect him. Egyptians are strong nonetheless, especially if they find gems, which so far I don't think General did find any. The spy died though, so that's bad news for Konju. He definitely did not see the foresters. That's Generalen's spy, I think. Yes, it is. He's just keeping tabs on this tower. And he knows that he will be first one. At least he should be. His builders are not close yet, but Varus does not have enough planks to complete the tower before. Some soldiers being transferred. These are from Kevi. They go to Konju, I presume. Konju gives up this tower. We'll build one further in the back. This is a good tower for Hanzi. Being in between the swamp should be very difficult to capture, although I prefer it to be slightly lower. Could even fit a big one here, that would be indestructible. I'll keep tabs on Generalen and Konju because I feel like this will be the igniting point for the fight in this game, but we'll also keep tabs on other players. You can already see the deviation from the builds. Interesting. So that's Zena, and that's Jonathan, because the colors are quite similar, so I don't want to confuse them. But Zena going in for the medium residence. Interesting choice. That's probably because he had to build so many towers early on. And I would go myself for a small one, but maybe he feels like he needs more geologists early on. As you know, the medium residence is very inefficient in terms of materials for the Amazons. It's expensive in comparison what it gives. Here in the north, there's already a spy from Taco, keeping tabs on Eagle Schnauz's bread, and most importantly coal and iron, so he will know exactly when the weaponsmith is built, even if he can't see it with his own eyes. Although he's walking in south, but I feel like this swordman will intercept him and kill him. Or not. He's going straight north. It's interesting, that interaction. Well, he just walks straight by, pushes him even, and does not reveal him. The Taco found a place for a farm, going for 3 wineries, not 2, not 4 obviously. And expanding in north, I don't feel like this tower accomplishes anything. This land is, you can't build anything here. And the mountain, I guess he can secure a bit of mountain, which, I mean, there is a good coal and decent iron, so maybe that's what he's going for. But it's another point of defense, and that's behind the snow as well. Another spy going in. Eagle going for 3 wineries himself as well. And a farm, so pretty similar builds. And he wanted to expand over the mountain, but I feel like he just realized he doesn't have to go so early. What the guy's doing in the corner. This is Mikash. 4 wineries and a farm. And a toolsmith too. So he relies on the game going into late game, because if it doesn't, he won't have any impact whatsoever. But if it does, then he might be like killing blow from behind, because he should not be interrupted with his build. And he fit the buildings quite nicely, but he is having trouble with settlers right now. He only has 2 medium houses. And the problem is that's a fairly long distance between the production buildings and the building sites, so he needs more settlers to carry everything basically. So I would invest in small residences. He's sending in troops to the south, not really sure where, maybe to Hanzi. His counterpart, Kevi, went in and sent a lot of troops to Konju, which is understandable because he's up against the Egyptian. Kevi going for a slightly more concise build, but not too much. That they went the same direction. We found a nice place for a farm. It won't have many crops, but I feel like he should be able to fit like 13 or maybe 15. And he went for 3 wineries instead of 4, like... Oh no, he's going for 4 as well. So some sort of level 3 play is in order. This spot is bad at the beginning and requires a lot of settlers to support such a wide country, but if the game goes long enough, they have infinite mountain basically, and the land is, I mean, rough, but you can fit plenty of farms here in the south, and then cut the stone and trees and fit a lot of production there as well. So if the game goes long, these guys will come in very hard from behind. Let's take a look at the Generalen, here expanding. I missed the... oh no, I did not. Okay, so this is his ally. I thought that was for a second an enemy that expanded here and crashed some of the mines, but it was not. So Generalen managed to go over this mountain. So not only Varus had to... not only he was first with the tower, he also crashed Varus' tower. So he has nice straight border against the Asian, whereas Konju slightly more in the back. So I think Konju realized that General is not rushing because he has built 4 wineries, and now a weaponsmith and adding a farm after the weaponsmith. So far, very good build from Konju, although obviously he's slightly slower due to many towers that he had to build, and the border is definitely not something he enjoys playing on, as he can be attacked from all directions, and basically every tower that he loses is very deadly. General found the gem mine, which is very good, 63%. Adding Fisher here. Slightly late, I would say. He has to expand south. And going for bows. No barracks just yet. Oh, he fit a Fisher here. I did not see it. These little lakes, they seem very small and you think they don't have any fish. But more often than not, they do. But I guess this time General was unlucky because it doesn't seem like there's any fish in there. Amazons here. Jonathan building a second large residence already. Before the farm. That's a really fast residence in my opinion. Looks like so far the mountains for the Amazons are okay, but not too crazy. They found some sulfur right here and right here, some gems. But these veins, they don't seem being too good. There's a hidden gem mine here. And obviously they will have difficult time sharing this mountain, because they can't just simply crush the towers. So far, looks like everyone's going for the bows. Even these guys up here, Eagle-Schnauzer and Taco both making bows. Amazons, I mean that goes without saying. Asians as well, and these guys in the back, I imagine, also going for bows. Mikash with an orthodox build again, going for 4 foresters on such a terrible terrain. That's a bold move. But I guess he felt like he's lacking the wood just now, so he's adding a 3rd sawmill, which I don't mind. I just don't feel like having 4 foresters is necessary, especially considering he has to cut all of these trees to make space for economy buildings. And I'm also curious where he will fit all of the small temples that he has to accommodate here, because so far he has 4 wineries, not a single small temple. Soldiers from Mikash going into General, it looks like. Kevi is a bit slow with expansion, because you can see the sawmills are full of planks, but I feel like he managed to fit more buildings in this small space. And obviously he went for only 2 foresters and 2 sawmills. He can fit a 3rd small temple here. Pioneer transfer spotted by, I think, General's spy, right? Yes, it is. So he should go for it and kill them. But that doesn't look like he's going to, so... Oh no, there's Mikash's soldiers patrolling, so unfortunately Kevi won't be able to transfer the pioneers to his Amazon. Zena building a second large residence before the level 2. And he has the medium one from the beginning. It looks like he's not aware that Hansi expanded so aggressively towards him. And if Hansi builds one more tower here, obviously he will be open to attacks, but it means Zena lost a large chunk of the mountain. Whereas on the other hand, Varys is slightly more conservative and he's not expanding in this direction. He's sending out the priest. I'm not really sure where he wants to go. Where he wants to go. Probably not to snipe, but I don't think he can like go through here. Maybe here to Eagle's Schnauzer, but Taka would have to be sleeping. Generalna is still a few minutes away from level 2. The Sphinx is only now finishing building. He has a lot of gems though. And Konji knows it because he just lost a spy there. A 61% combat power, 24 minutes. So if Generalen decided to rush, Konju and Varys would be in a big trouble. Big trouble. Konju slightly slow on the market. That means his weaponsmith might get full pretty soon, unless he recruits some level 1s or changes the weapon type. Looks like Kevi managed to sneak the pioneers through, which is a big mistake from Mikash, who is losing a few of his starting soldiers. That means Kevi will have access to gold. I'm not really sure if Mikash is sending his pioneers to their Amazon. I don't think so. But on the other hand, he doesn't even have the barracks, so it's not like he needs gold. Paco, despite it being in a very tough position, has managed to fit 2 farms on this spot. Whereas, oh no, okay, Eagle also managed to fit 2. I feel like Taco's forest is slightly more compact, allowing him to fit more or less the same number of buildings as for Eagle. Also with 3 temples. Fitting a big temple will be a challenge though. There is a priest from Varus, which I noticed before, and looks like it's going into his death. Oh, no, okay, that's... No, that's fine, right? No. This guy is not gonna live, unfortunately. There should be... yeah, should be advancing to level 2 pretty soon. There's plenty of settlers, lots of weapons, 16 bows almost. And most importantly, 2 farms. So that means his economy is really good for an Egyptian. We'll see if he decides to pounce somewhere and attack. I don't feel like though, because he doesn't have any melee troops to support his attack unless he finds an opening. This is where the gold will be most likely. And so far it looks like we're gonna have a pretty standard game. Quite slow, so Mikash is definitely happy, providing he can deliver. He managed to fit 3 temples here up north. Nice. I presume he could fit a 4th one right there, and maybe a 5th one. I feel like he will wait all the way to level 3 considering, yeah, the barracks are only now starting to being built, which is almost 30-minute mark. It's worth mentioning that the positions where they are now, here in the back, they're very open to being sniped. Kevi, smartly so, building a tower deeper into his land, in between the mountains, so first of all it's quite difficult to spot, and then difficult to capture. He has slight settlers problems, but I feel like this residence should fix the issue. And let's see what General is going with his soldiers. So far, just spreading them on the border, and surprisingly enough, he's more afraid of of the Varus than Konju. Obviously, Varus does not have any enemy other than the small border with the Amazon, but they're more or less General is his only enemy he can attack, so maybe that's why. Whereas Konju is obviously preoccupied with the Asian in the back. Konju already adding preemptive towers. I mean, I can feel his pain, because defending this, I mean, if you lose one tower, no matter which one, you toast. So adding a backup tower is a good idea, but I feel like slightly, maybe too soon. A large temple should be just in time for the convert, which is a very good timing. For a second there I thought Hanzi went for 4 sawmills, but doesn't look like it, right? Yeah, only 3. He could build 4th one, because these are very good woodcutters. Zen has become aware that there is a threat coming in from blue. He's adding 2 towers, one to secure the mountain and the other just for safety, I guess. And maybe he should build one here to secure more mountain. Oh, that's interesting. Their Zena is basically cutting off yellow from expansion. I feel like yellow could use this land a lot, but maybe they concluded that having these gems is more important for them. But I feel like that's a questionable choice, because Eagle will have to crush the mine, the iron mine, probably. Yep. Otherwise he can't fit the gems, and that's one of the best irons for Eagle. So some tough decisions here. At the same time, Zena doesn't have... No, he does. Okay, he does have water. I thought for a second that he has to go all over here for the water because blue took it, but no, he has plenty of rivers here. So I'm not really sure if that's the right call to cut off Eagle from all of the mountain and all of the terrain. Because so far he has an upper hand on Taco, but if Taco can expand south and Eagle cannot, then obviously Taco will win a long play. Very solid play by Varus, by both Asians though. Nice timing for Hanzi too. Right when he turned the stone into iron, he had 3 more weaponsmiths ready, and they're all working now. Nice boost in production for Asians. And similar situation for Varus, although he's slightly lacking coal. Yeah, these mines are good, but they're just not good enough to support all of the production. Mikash transferring some of the first troops to his blue ally. Let's see how much he recruits before waiting for the level 3. If it's only 3 temples, yep, he found the place for a 4th one, but it's just not finished just yet. It's right here. Still no large temple there. It doesn't look like it will be ready in any time soon. Same for Kevida. Not even looking for a place, it seems like. Yeah, I feel like he should expand here. It's a good place for a few farms. And instead he's going up north, which you can also fit a farm or two, but it's slightly more difficult, I feel like. Blue transferring pioneers, so he managed to go all around Konju into the Amazon. I feel like Konju had no control over this place whatsoever, and both Mikash managed to sneak with his soldiers and especially the Asian with the pioneers. That's a slight oversight, maybe on Kevi's part too, because he has some level 1 troops there. Securing this would be a pain in the ass for the enemy. Now, I'm still not sure why Zena decided not to go in this way for the mountain. Instead, he's going all the way here. Eagle waiting for level 3 already. He fit a large temple. Whereas Taco, not really. Nice place for a pig farm. Would have never thought it would fit her, but it fits perfectly. That's nice. I feel like Eagle will have to crush the forester very, very soon. Otherwise, he will just run out of space. I mean, he can build here still. It's just, I don't think he has a passage here yet. You'll have to go all the way around. Maybe some of the melting snow from the Asian would save him a lot of time. His builders a lot of time. They would have to go around. No signs of aggression from Generalen. He has a lot of combat power though, it's 65%, making purely bows for now. He cut off fish to gem mine, I guess to gather enough fish and convert them into meat. But soon enough he'll have to resume it. It's a good strategy, it's just you have to remember to resume it, otherwise you have no gold income whatsoever. Generalan's border is quite weak on the right hand side, and Konji knows it because there is a lookout tower here. Generalan does not have a lookout tower himself, but he does have a spy here, so he more or less knows what's going on. But if Konji decided to attack from here, I feel like Generalan would be very much unprepared. And we have to keep in mind that Konji has a convert right now, and soon we'll have two. Then he turned the meat into, he turned the fish into meat, 30 to meat, so that's a very good spell. Nothing going on for the Amazons. Gold is right here, and maybe it's slightly under the influence of the tower, or just barely not. Looks like Kevi is taking the gold, and on the other hand, Hanzi is. So Konji is about to feel some heat. Not really sure where, maybe here in the south. There's only level 1 soldiers from Kevi. And I'm curious what Kevi is planning to do. He's not saving for level 3, so he has quite some troops on the map. Not really sure where, mostly here and at Konju's. But he can't accomplish much. On the other hand, Mikosh, saving for that level 3, as about the storage of weapons, and expanding heavily here to the left, building another sawmill. In total there will be 4, but I presume he should crush one, or maybe even both, so that the distance between the source of materials and the building sites is as small as possible. So at the beginning I said Mikosh might be a bit wonky when it comes to long plays, but maybe he'll prove me wrong. Let's see the vision from Hanzi, because I'm curious if he's maybe seeing some opening on Konju. He took gold, that's 45%, so nothing too crazy. This tower here, not really protected. Maybe he should build a watchtower. I really hate when there is... you have just lonely tower, no clue what's on the other side of the border. Konji so far looks safe from Hanzi. He has plenty of spears, but spears are not really good at taking towers and killing Romans especially. Maybe they'll try to do some sort of two-prong attack on Konju, yes, because you can see Generalan moving in. He had no soldiers whatsoever on his border, and now all of a sudden Konju will find himself getting pounded from two sides, which I'm not really sure if he likes. Generalan in sending also a priest with the ban. Yes, he does. Okay, so Konju is in a big trouble right now. Maybe he should forfeit the tower in the south and defend wherever he has the priest. There are agents here with the priest, so he can call back the soldiers that are banned from Generalan. But so far, I don't think Generalan has to ban anything, because Konju does not have enough to defend those two towers. He's emptying the one in the south, and he's pushing in the one in the north. Let's see if he pulls the trigger on the ban. So far, Hanzi is not moving, maybe because Konju is also not moving from the north in large numbers. Priest is very close to the ban. Will he pull the trigger? Yes, he does. I'm not really sure where the soldiers went. Maybe I can track them on the minimap, or to Taco here, so they won't be able to call them back, at least not in time. Konju bring in some pioneers to help tank, and so far the defense looks pretty good. Although we have to remember that Generalan has quite a bit of combat power, and Hanzi is attacking from the north, and I feel like Konju still has both of his his mana, so should be fine. He's losing a lot of troops at the bottom. He has another priest here with a convert, so if needed be, he can defend. He's fighting quite poorly in the north. He pulls the trigger on the convert in the north, which I'm not really sure is the correct choice, because I feel like Generalan is the more dangerous enemy here, but he's not sending in more troops, so Konju should be fine. At the same time, Kevi deflecting the attack on the right hand side, but Generalan keeps pushing. And he's at the tower, and now Konju does not have a convert, can throw a festering fear, but that's about it. There's a very weak soldier there in the back, so in the tower, so Generalen should be able to take it for free. And that will help Kanji's economy by a lot. There are 2 farms, 2 wineries. And down the tower goes down. Big blow for Konju. Unfortunately, I feel like the convert was slightly misplaced. And now at the same time, Hanzi is pushing in. So that's the advantage of having the Egyptians on your side. You can do 2-prong attacks, because General has his own combat power. I'm surprised they don't do anything here. There are 2 priests from General's allies, so it should be fine, but still applying pressure would be good. Now Hanzi is knocking on Konju's towers. Konju does have a level 3, but it's slightly too late. If he loses his tower, it's not the big deal, but he cannot lose his army, otherwise it would be a done deal. There is a priest of his ally, but there are no reinforcements being called. I don't have to call them now, but they need to bring something to Konju. Amazon moving in from the north to support, but not too many troops, so won't impact them a lot. And Generale moving in with swords again. If these towers fall, they will hurt Konju, and it looks like there's nothing to defend it. Unless... Generale goes back, which is a surprising move. I feel like he could easily take at least this one. But there was a priest from Varus, so Konju wouldn't have lost all of them, but still a big blow. And Kevi trying to retake the tower, which is not good for Konju. Konju would love to take back the land. He doesn't have the melee troops though. And now, what do you do with the tower? Do you crush it or you keep it? I feel like he has to crush it, especially considering Konju build 2 in the back. And when the dust settles, Konju is very much bruised. Lost 2 towers, lost 2 wineries, so it might not impact them immediately. But he also lost a tower here in the north, and with it, a few loaves of bread and a bit of coal and a good mine, I assume. So his production is very weak right now, and doesn't look like it will get any better soon. Some troops from Mikash being transferred south. No melees though, so this tower is not in danger. And looks like they're mustering a large army here against Generalen. Moving in against one of the most important towers on his land, covering most of the mountain that he has. Plenty of food, plenty of stuff, but again, they don't have an Egyptian, so they cannot both attack at the same time, which is a huge blow. Kevi going on first. Not that much combat power, only 57. Has 2 converts, I presume, not just 1. A call from Mikash, level 2 bows. I feel like Varus should be right behind them, just because you don't have combat power doesn't mean you can't move in. It's a slight desperation attack. There's not enough melees to from Kevi to capture the tower, and he hopes to thin the enemy army, and then maybe Varus will clean this up. There's a freeze from the Amazon. Varus is fighting from his own land, that's a very good move. But Kevi looks like he's being slaughtered from 2 sides. And he's also got frozen twice, I think. So he has to retreat. I'd like to see some Chiyu shields on those soldiers. That would definitely help him. In this case, they just will be slaughtered, and he does no damage whatsoever. I feel like maybe Varus should be the first one attacking. And that move was very obvious. They gathered the army way in advance and then they pushed with a slight delay, whereas when you notice when General was attacking, he had no soldiers at Konju's border and then all of a sudden moved all of his army there, and Konju had no idea what was happening to him, was not prepared at all. So unfortunately for Zena's team, looks like they have lost half of the player already. Although Konju keeps playing, he's not the sort of guy to give up early, but he's definitely injured, and there will be more pain, I presume. Interestingly enough, they're not decided. Oh, that's a nice move from Generalen, sniping in a tower in the south. I caught it by accident, but he lost 2 farms, which is a big blow. So far the situation in the north looks like not much going on, very stable. Tak only now adding the large temple, which I don't think Eagle is aware. And he doesn't have the big temple himself, does he? Yep, he has no temple, no space to place it whatsoever. Konju managed to recapture the land, but he doesn't have enough troops to secure all that border. He's spread really thin, and his production is weak. Only 2 weaponsmiths working, and these barracks are under constant fire from those 2 archers. There's another attack going in from Varys. He has to be careful in the south. Yeah, but there are 3 players here in 4. He has no chance whatsoever. He's gonna get stuck on those swamps. Slaughtered once again. Some sneaky swords trying to snipe the Amazon tower, but they won't be able to succeed. I feel like they should try to change the venue of attack. General is just too well defended. Maybe to the Amazon here. And he really should retake the tower. General is not trying to contest it at all. Looks like Varys is not giving up. I would like to see some healers, because I'm pretty sure those troops are really injured right now. Yep. If he had maybe a few swords, he would be able to capture this tower, but this tower means nothing to Generalen. He has 2 in the back covering the most important stuff. And he's bleeding, so he's bleeding troops right now, and again he will get stuck on this swamp. It is the worst place you could possibly attack, I feel like. Keeps fighting. This time he's fighting from his own border, but these troops are very much injured. Would like to see some healing. He's very hesitant to retake the tower. There's no clue that Generalen is not putting a fight. Let's check real quickly on the guys in the back. I feel like at some point they will come into play really heavily. It looks like only 3 weaponsmiths for Kevi, but he managed to establish a good economy. About similar situation at Mikash's land. He has 4 weaponsmiths, but they're not really working all the time. 2 charcoals makers, interesting. And large residence. Varys still going back and forth, being very annoying. 3 people here defending General. The Amazon, that's Taco, and then Mikash. Let's see if Zena maybe has some sort of opening. He's taking the gold, so maybe he'll look for a venue to attack. 4 weaponsmiths, fifth being finished but has no hammer. 6th one on the way. Looks next production. He's not moving in. He won't attack, I feel like. He's just moving the gold north. Yeah, I'm not sure if they are aware that Eagle is not. He does have a priest, sorry. But he doesn't have a... That's just the one priest he has, so if it gets converted, that's it. But it looks like Taco is in no danger of dying. Even though he lost this little patch of land at the beginning, I thought that would cause him a lot of trouble, but it looks like he managed to handle the spot slightly better than Eagle this time. Oh, I missed that part. There was some snipe. There was some snipe by Zena, and I guess that's why he was taking gold. Sorry. Nice snipe though. He took quite a bit of mountain, but he won't be able to hold this land, I feel like. Get some breathing room for Konji though. And now Konji taking the gold. These troops are getting volleyed from the tower all the time. He has a spy here, so he might try to do some sneaky plays on Generalen's south borders. Hansi lost the tower here. I mean, he crashed the tower. I guess Zena was pressuring him as well. He should be able to rebuild first, but nonetheless good for Zena for being active on the map. Konji retaking the tower that he lost, smart move. About time to retake it, maybe build some large one. Yep, that's what he's doing right here to secure the mountain for good. Konji is coming back into the game. Unfortunately, the fields for those farms have disappeared, so he has to replant them from the beginning. That means the farm will take about 10 minutes to start producing. Looks like Konji is stabilized. Good for him, good for him. So even though they took some beating on Konji's side at the beginning, Zena managed to claim a tower here and then pressure a bit on Hansi, and I feel like their situation is still very good. I feel like the teams are more or less even, although it's hard to judge from the troops on the map. Definitely they still have the advantage of the Egyptian being able to attack at the same time with the other ally, although his level 3 will be way later though, so that's maybe one venue of that's one advantage that the other team has. Hansi lacking settlers for quite a few minutes, and it's not going away anytime soon. Oh no, sorry, he just finished the large residence, so he should be able to recruit the soldiers, because he had level 3 way before, I presume. It's just he had no settlers to recruit the weapons. Nikash moving in south. So far, I think only Konju casted the converts, so all other Romans, they should have mana. And surprisingly enough, Zena will be able to establish towers here. I mean, there's not much that he can take that he would I mean, nothing of value for him. But I guess Jonathan got a bit scared and decided not to recapture it. which is interesting because they have a lot of troops here against Generalen, here defending south of Generalen and Jonathan, and I feel like Zena invested nothing into defending it. Let's maybe compare armies for a few players before it's while it's still fairly calm. Zena almost 200 troops, Jonathan only 10 fewer, Varys 150, 130 against 130 for Hanzi, similar position, Generalen 130 against Konju, almost 100, but Konju has level 3, so they're more or less even, I would say. I see Mikash is moving troops in the south. He might try to pounce on this tower, because he brought melees this time. They're pinging pretty heavily, and he's also claiming gold, as you can see. Let me compare Kevi, that's 120 versus Mikash 140, so slight advantage here. And Mikash has almost 3 converts. I mean, just 3. I'm not quite sure, but it's almost 3. And he's moving in lots of spears, 77 combat power. We'll see if Generalen will join him from the other side, but it doesn't look like it. Generalen is trying to recruit some swords. Oh no, he is moving in, okay. And again, it's a sort of surprising move, because he has some soldiers in the back, and only then he's moving in. Konju preemptively crashed the tower. I think pretty smart move. And we'll see if Mikash decides to push those 2 towers, or maybe just move south to Generalen's land. That's a pretty risky move, because he can get surrounded here pretty heavily. But looks like they'll get unscathed to Generalen. Nice. He's taking the fight against a few Kevi's troops. Kevi has to retreat. And he safely moves to Generalen. Paco camping in with gold mines, very manly of him. I guess he respects the eagle very much after last game. Yeah, but if I have to be honest, I feel like he played slightly better on this spot compared to eagle, but still very tough position nonetheless. Heavy moving in north. I'm interested if these troops are just for defense, or if they want to actually make some move against the Amazon. Because this tower is, I mean, I'm very surprised that it hasn't been captured just yet. It looks very open. And there's nothing but behind it too. There's no tower here, only this one, but if Varys lost it, that would be a lot of mountain gun. And Amazon, they don't have that much here. There's a priest and a few level 2 soldiers, but I don't think that it's nearly enough to defend it. They see Kevi's movement, so they might reinforce this position, I hope, for their sake. Looks like a heavy rotation on Generalen and Mika's side. Generalen sending majority of his troops to the right on Konju's border, whereas Mikash will replace his and guarding the west. Some soldiers lagging behind. That could signal another attack on Konju, again from two sides, from the Asian, as here in the north, and Generalen here in the south, or maybe Mikash would attack from here, from Blue's country. Konju has the support from the Amazon, a few troops from Kevi as well, but I don't think there's any priest. There was an Asian priest, I remember, but I don't see it now. Oh, it's right here. Okay. Heavy moving in. Let's see how much combat power he gets. 33. So has not taken the gold yet. Interesting. Oh no, he's not taking it now. Okay. They're transferring a lot here. But he has a few converts. Has to be careful, because if Amazon made some pioneers, converts would have been useless. There should be a freeze on Amazon side, no problem. Oh, he converted the priest. Interesting move. And another convert, so he really wants to take these towers. Unfortunately, he has no swords, so it will take him a while. And Amazon still has a lot of melee troops. It's still level 2, so they stand no chance whatsoever without further support. And looks like if they had any plans of pushing against Konju, I feel like it has to be delayed, because Mikash has to support, but looks like they go in it anyway. I'll switch to the other fight very soon, but let's see how this goes. Another call from Mikash and a freeze. One tower taken, but nothing else. Let's see how Konju's defense looks like. North looks fine, but south not so much. KV is sleeping a little bit. He's preoccupied with the attack, and this tower will fall. And again, Konju losing another piece of his economy, must be pissed. This time it's not his fault at all. Troops got evacuated into Konju. Nice move. But this tower in the south is dead, unless Konju or someone else can throw some converts in. North deflected very well. This tower was close, but did not fall. No priest inside, only here, does not have a convert, and Generalens takes yet another tower from Konju. Big blow. Another attack from Mikash. Konju is getting pounded from two sides once again. Not happy about it, and these towers are quite hopeless as well. Although there's not much here that he can lose. He lost the majority of farms already. These troops are in semi-surround, they have to get away. Pestering fear, Heavy is not shooting. A bit of a hectic defense, if I'm being honest. And again, that's an advantage of having an Egyptian, they can both attack the same location. And more troops from Garan floating in, I'm sorry. And I guess, again, Konju is losing another piece of his land. Yep, this is a killing blow for him. It didn't look too bad at first, but it quickly turned south. I feel like they're just out of position at all times. Now they're defending something that is more or less useless, and then losing majority of his production in the north. Let's see how they split the gold, because who has it. Hansi does have some gold, so he will be able to capture at least 3 of those towers. There's a fight going in the north. Eagle is pouncing on Taco, but the venue of attack is just atrocious. There's not much he can do unless they fuck up with the converts. Taco throw in converts quite soon, so should be no surprise. Eagle messed up one, I feel like, at the end. Konju, I feel like they can't defend him really. Even if they do, they're just empty towers. He has nothing else left. Looks like Eagle is doing pretty good. After the converts, after everything, he has way more spears. Oh, there's one more convert from Taco, so that should probably be enough, at least in the north. Zena scrambling to support Konju, but at this point there's nothing to defend here. Taco lost some troops, but there is support from Mikash all the way from the other side of the map. Zena sending in more troops, trying to I don't know, save Konju, but not really sure if there's anything to save. And after taking just 1 tower, Eagle has to retreat. And Zena's troops are in this very bad surround. And when you take a look at the mini map, there's way more troops on. Oh no, these are pioneers. Sorry. I thought Jonathan would pounce on Zena soon, but does not look like he has enough. Varys finally decided to switch the venue of attack. He's going in south. There's some troops from Ikash defending Generalen, and Generalen's troops as well from the barracks. We'll see if that's enough. Zena sending level 3, basically leaving his border wide open. There was a ban. I'm pretty sure Varys could call them back, but he decides not to. Probably he's not aware where they are exactly. Some troops lagging in the back, not fighting perfectly. Zena still fighting on Konju's land. At this point I feel like he's just trying to defend the mountain. And they're going back from Konju, and they will most likely be able to defend. And they're on another ban. And things look really good for Generalen's team once again. Heavy joining the fight. After Generalen's troops left the fight, Hansi has to retreat as well. This tower wide open though. There's only a priest and he can delay it for so long. Looks like Kevi has realized. No swords though, which again nobody's making swords except Generalen, and he's getting results with it, so must be a good play then. Still some of the troops he left in this round. And he's going back, and this tower doesn't see it. Oh my god, and he's going for the Amazon, which is also open, but again, taking these 3 towers means nothing in comparison to take just this one. They're pinging heavily, but yeah, he doesn't see it. Now Zena's team is against the clock. They lost a player. I mean, Konju is still alive, but he can't do anything. Split in half. There's barely any buildings. And to be honest, I don't see what they could do. I mean, the only possible idea I would have in the game is to just snipe Mikash, who obviously has only 1 tower. And he didn't capture anything here, so. Jonathan's production doesn't look too good, only a few weaponsmiths working, whereas Zena, yeah, looks way better. The question is it enough? Yes, level 3, now Kevi taking the gold. Jonathan also has level 3, but it was only recent, so most of his troops are still level 2. Now Hansi taking the gold, making the killing move on Honju. Lots of iron, ready to be taken. Well, let's take a look at these two guys. It's Mikash, how many weaponsmiths? 7. Most of them working, although these are not too good. On the other hand, Kevi, 6. So more or less the same. They go head to head. This big blob is confusing for me because these are just pioneers, most of them. So it's not all army. If there was all armies, then I would be in a big trouble. In a lot of trouble. Looks like Taco will fancy a snipe. There's no way he can do much though. Or maybe with the convert, if he has one, because I feel like he used most of it. Yeah, he will have one soon. But he might need it against Eagle, who is trying to make a move yet again, but I mean the terrain is just awful. His mortality spell, which I was looking for, so Paco has to pull back. Looking at the minimap, making sure there's no other fight that's going on. Paco going back, very smart move. And Eagle, for some reason, yeah, only now going for the tower. Will not be able to take it, unless they throw some more spells. Looks like a retreat is in order for Eagle. Konju is finally being killed off. His last tower is here, and they will split the land more or less evenly, although the island took a lot of his wheat and food production. And the situation looks dire for Zena team. They still have a lot of gold, and his production obviously looks slightly better, though he's lacking sulfur in this case. But other than that, I feel like they lose on every single front. The island has plenty of food. It just has to keep adding production. Where is the snipe I was talking about? It's Senna is trying to do the dirty work. Not sure who is pinging it. There is a lonely sword from Taco, but Mikash is aware of it. Though it have to be a ship coming from this way. There's all of these Konju's spies, so they were trying to do something. They know exactly where the tower is. They also know that there's troops gathering around it, so this cannot work, unfortunately. And just a matter of time before General manages to gather a large enough army for them to attack most likely Varus. He has level 3 and plenty of combat power. I can imagine it's almost, yeah, it's 90, exactly 90. I feel like he's missing settlers? No, just has to add more buildings, production buildings right now. They could attack anywhere really. Zena forfeit looks like is giving up on the south piece of land and moving in north. Oh, I guess he's just being attacked from Hanzi and Mikash, makes sense. They had to split the gold, I imagine. 80 for Hanzi, 76 for Mikash. We'll see if Zena manages to push them away. Should have some mana from Mikash. Yeah, 2 converts go down, 3 even. So he's not even waiting for Zena to throw immortality spells. He just straight up converts whatever he can. And they look like they're just overwhelming, especially in the south. I mean, level, yeah, okay, that's it. They just decided to surrender. After losing Amazon, they just lost gold, and that'd be GG. Well, looks like it's 3-0 for Ganalen in this Showmatch series. Good job for them. Congratulations. Take a look at the stats. When we compare both teams, first one is Ganalen's team. They have about 250 more, which is, I mean, I thought it would be more considering Konju died. I mean, lost a lot at the beginning and then died like 10 minutes before it ended, but they have 250, so not too bad. Jonathan slightly behind Zena, so that's why the difference isn't too devastating. Mikash more or less. Oh no, okay, so I thought it's okay. So it's Mikash has 50 fewer soldiers than Kevi, so good job for Kevi here. Taco against Eagle won this time by 40. Muzzle tough for him. He also defended pretty well, but those gold mines were kind of questionable. And then, well, obviously Konju with a huge deficit against Generalen, lost quite early those farms, and then it went downhill from there. Although he had a pretty good fights. I'm not sure if there were any pioneers or what, but he killed off a lot of soldiers. I feel like they could defend him in the end. They just were too indecisive. So they lost a lot of stuff in the south, and then they moved there, and then they lost the production in the north, and Konju was dead by this point. And then Varus against Hanzi, also with a deficit of 100 soldiers. Hanzi played really well, top counting soldiers, and he was having problems with settlers at some point, so it could have been still slightly better, but good job for him. Nice score. Alright guys, thank you guys for watching. That was the third show match, and going for Generalen again. To Ganalen's team, 3-0. If we have more, I'm sure there's a lot of pressure on Zena to at least take 1 point from his former teammate. Have a good night, and bye bye.